is that time of year, guys. It is the time of year where things are just crazy busy. And there is so much going on, all the extra parties, all the events, all the things to do, all the things to plan, all the people coming over, the house needs to be clean. The list goes on and on and on and on, and it is very, very easy to burn out at this time of year. And so today's video, I'm going to be sharing some things that I'm going to be doing this year to help avoid burnout, and hopefully some of these things will help you as well. I had a pretty severe burnout last year, and I don't want that to happen again. So I have been doing my research, I have been trying the things, and this is what I've come up with. So let's dive into the video. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I have a 14-year-old, 10-year-old, 7-year-old, and 5-year-old. And so I'm a busy mom. I work. I do this channel. So when I say I work, I have a job that I do like twice a month, but it's still a job. But I do this channel, which is also work, and a few other little things here and there. I run a co-op for our, I don't run it by myself. I have a very, very qualified, very wonderful board, but I do a lot for that. I homeschool my kids. I've got a lot going on, and then you add in the holiday season and things just get busy. And so burnout is real, guys. Burnout is real. And so these are I've done the research. I have an article, I'm going to link it, that it was really helpful to me, and especially when I was like reading signs of burnout, and I was like, oh, that is happening to me right now. And so I was like, this is definitely something that I need to be thinking about working on, being proactive. And so I thought I would share my research with you guys and what I am going to try to do to avoid the burnout for this coming year. First off, my new thing that I've been working really hard on, I'm a people pleaser and I always want to say yes, and I have been working really hard to say no. No, I can't commit to that. No, I can't do that for you. I really want to, but I just can't fit it in. I have been working on saying no. I am getting better at it. I'm happy to report it is getting easier for me to say no. I might falter a little bit every once in a while, but I have even said yes to something and then turned around and said, you know what? I can't do that right now. So I'm proud of myself. I'm working on that. I'm not overcommitting. I'm committing to what I know I can handle and trying not to commit to those things that sound like a great idea or that I really want to do, but I just know that I can't. So number 1, don't overcommit yourself. Learn to say no. Okay, number 2, I've been working on making lists that are in priority order. So things that I really need to get done are at that top of that list. And then things that I want to do but don't necessarily have that much of a time limit or aren't as important to get to, I will put at the bottom of the list. This has been helping a lot with me, like really saying I need to get these top things done. These are important. This is what really needs to get done. This is where my focus needs to go. And while, you know, my ADHD might want to focus on something down here that needs to get done and might be a little bit more fun, you know, I am saying I need to do these things first before I get to the fun things. And that has been helping, especially executive function is really hard for me. Like doing the things that I don't want to do is really hard for me. And so putting that on the top of my list has really been helping me, you know, get those things done a little bit better, a little bit, you know, and then rewarding myself with something that's fun off of the bottom of my list. Okay, the next one on my list here to talk about is setting timers. So this is not something I've done that much, but it's something that I do want to try to start doing. This is kind of like, I tend to hyper focus a lot. And not being able to complete a task is a struggle for me. So I will hyper focus on something until it's complete rather than working on it for a set amount of time and coming back to it later. That's really hard for me. So I'm going to try using timers to, you know, say I'm going to work on this concept for X amount of time, and then I'm going to move on and work on this other one that also needs to get done, and see how that goes. Typically what I've been doing is like spending one day focusing on one area of my life. So focusing heavily on homeschool on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday focusing heavily on this channel, and then Thursday focusing heavily on co-op. And that system is working. It's going well. I'm able to hyper focus and get the things done. But there are some times where like that doesn't necessarily work all that well, because I need to do 2 things in one day that need to be done by tomorrow instead of 1, and it throws off my whole thing. So I'm going to try setting timers. So working on things for a certain amount of time and then switching gears and working on something else. Hopefully that will help me a little bit here. Something I wanted to share with you guys that has really been helping my productivity is something from Microsoft Edge, the web browser. It's not necessarily my favorite, but something that they have been doing has been really helping me. So I've been using it a lot just simply because this feature helps so much. And it's Workspaces. So I blurred some of this out because it's my personal information, but I have a different workspace for each of the different categories of things that I do. This channel, my homeschool with my kids, our co-op, my personal stuff, my business stuff. Everything has its own set of tabs, which you can see right here. And so I can be working strictly on this channel and have everything that I need to work on this channel and not be distracted by any other category of my life that I need to be working on. And if I want to change gears and want to go to something, to a different category, all I have to do is click on that workspace, and that workspace will come up, and now I'm only working within this world. I'm not worried about any of my other worlds. I'm not distracted by, answering comments or answering emails for any other thing that I'm doing. It's all focused solely on the topic that I need to do at that current moment. I can set the timer. When the timer goes off, I can change the workspace that I'm working on and not be as distracted. So I feel like it's really helping my productivity, and I'm really liking it. Even though Microsoft Edge isn't exactly my favorite, I really, really, really love this workspace feature and how the tabs are over here. That has the little symbol. I'm not blasted with a whole bunch of text up here that's keeping me distracted. I just really, really have been loving this, and I thought I would share it with you guys in case, like me, Microsoft Edge, which isn't your favorite, but now it kind of is. Using the timers, I'm also going to work on scheduling in breaks, okay? And using the timer to end my break, okay? It's not that I necessarily am bad at giving myself breaks. It's that I'm really bad about coming back from those breaks. That's where I struggle. So I'm actually going to set timers or like watch one show. And so I've set up my Netflix and HBO and all the ones that I could. I've set them up to not autoplay anymore. So like it plays one episode and then it stops. And I actually have to tell it to play the next one. And I'm liking this feature because if I do want to reward myself with a little bit of break and sit down and watch one episode of something, it doesn't play and I don't get stuck there because it doesn't play the next one. And so I literally have to either find the remote to play the next one or I have to get up. And so that I'm really liking. It's keeping me from like being so stuck in my breaks. So setting a timer would be another way of, giving myself an hour off and then making myself get up and get back to it. That's where I struggle, and that's what I'm working on right now. So the rest of this is stuff that like is new to me, things that I've learned from reading, doing some reading and catching up, things that I'm going to try to implement, tips and tricks that I'm going to try to implement myself, but I haven't necessarily tried yet. So the first one is making time to do something you love each day. So I really love crocheting and I really love sewing and I really love reading, and I'm not doing any of those things, okay? Because I just feel like I don't have the time for them. But really, honestly, I probably do because I've been playing games on my phone, which while enjoyable, and while I do that mostly while I'm watching, I could be crocheting during that time. And something that I also equally love and would give me a product other than this game that doesn't give me anything, So like working on adding those things that I actually love doing back into my normal routine is something that I'm going to try to work on during this holiday season. I bought a book that I'm hoping to read. I have 3 other ones that are on my shelf, but I'm hoping to read it over this holiday break. Adding those things back that I love for me is something that I'm going to be working on. Prioritizing sleep, which I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty good at prioritizing sleep. If you know me at all, I sleep in, okay? I'm not afraid to sleep in. I have no regrets, no complaints about sleeping in. But prioritizing sleep does become a struggle for me when I have a lot to do, because I'll just stay up and do it. Even though I have a commitment to get up the next morning, I'll still stay up. So working on making sure that I'm trying to do that less and less. Something that I'm going to prioritize. Exercise. I get on exercise bandwagons and then I fall right off. But I bought a treadmill and I'm going to try to get back into it over this break, where because things do get a little, even though there's a lot going on, like we take a break from school, so it gives me a little bit more time. So I am going to try to get back on that treadmill and maybe walk while I'm taking my watch a show break or something like that. So prioritizing exercise and prioritizing eating well. That's a real struggle around the holiday season, but also why it's so equally important that you're eating well so that you can enjoy those bigger meals that, maybe aren't so good for you. Eating well the rest of the time will help balance that out a little bit, and something that I'm definitely going to try to start working on a little bit. I've definitely gotten to a point where I'm doing a lot of convenience food, so I'm going to try to be working on getting back to food prepping and getting that more squared away during my homeschool break. I'm going to be focusing on that. So the last two here on my list are things that I struggle with, things that I have to constantly remind myself of. They're not new to me, but they're things that I'm always working on and I'm trying to do better. Number one, leave the guilt, okay? Don't let anyone else or yourself make you feel guilty about either saying no to something or not getting something done that you wanted to get done, or any of the, anything. So you didn't live up, you didn't keep up with the Joneses, any of that. Don't let yourself feel guilty about that, okay? What you're doing is enough. What you're doing, your children are going to remember and are going to love, and they're happy. Don't let the guilt come in. Especially don't let anyone else make you feel guilty about something that you either didn't accomplish or didn't do the right way. Whatever way you did it was the right way, okay? Let's just remind ourselves of that. So leave the guilt. Try to let the guilt go. You're not going to be able to get everything done, and it's not going to be perfect, beautiful magazine ready. It just isn't when you have a bunch of kids running around. That's not reality, okay? So be okay with accepting reality. Don't watch all these wonderful YouTubers or influencers showing you all these wonderful, beautiful things and then feel guilty that you're not able to accomplish that, okay? That's what they do as a job for a living. They're not, I can tell you what's from personal experience, what's in front of the camera doesn't always match what's behind the camera, okay? So just keep that in mind and just try not to let the guilt creep in, especially guilt from somebody else, okay? That you can say, forget it, but, the harder one is don't let yourself feel guilty about things. And then last but definitely not least, something that I'm working on, because I do have a bit of control issues. I want everything to go a certain way, and I feel like I need to do it to make it go that way. But asking for help, okay? You just be okay with asking for help. And then the hard part is being okay with how they do it, okay? So they're not going to do it maybe exactly the way that you want, but it got done and you didn't have to do it, okay? So ask for help and then be okay with how they helped you. If you want something done specifically a certain way, make sure you're communicating that to that person that you're asking the help from. And if they're not okay with doing that the way that you want to, you have to just kind of be okay with it, okay? Be at peace, let it go, because you're not a superhuman. You can't do it all on your own. You need help, you need support. You deserve help and you deserve support. So take advantage of it, because things do get crazy and mom shouldn't have to do it all, okay? Mom shouldn't have to do it all. So let's be the best we can be, ask for the help, let the guilt go, concentrate on the things that bring us joy as well as the things that bring joy to everybody else in our family. Yes, let's work on avoiding burnout. So what tips do you have that you can share with us down below in the comments? While you're down there, I hope you would subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Let's chat about it, guys. What do you do to avoid feeling like you have no energy left, nothing in your cup left to give? What are the things, what are the strategies that you're working on? Or is this something you struggle with that you need the tips? Because I definitely struggle in this area. I really do. I let myself go, burning the candle at both ends until I just have nothing left to give anymore. And that it's hard to come back from that. It's real hard. And it's a real thing, and it really happens. So yeah. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. Don't forget, you can check us out over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology, and then come back and chat with me again right here real soon. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.